Welcome on in, everybody. This is scrutinize, and we are in the midst of a Sisters of Battle review block. Obviously, this review block started off with the comparison of the McFarlane version of the Sisters of Battle, as you can see over there behind me, over here, compared to the JoyToy version of the Order of the Martyred Lady. So we still have quite a few things to review. And what are we going to be looking at today? We are going to be looking at the Paragon Warsuit of our Martyred Lady. So obviously, you're not here to see a person keep talking and rambling about things. You want to see the review. So you know what? Let's get right down to it. Time to unbox the Sisters of Battle version of the baby carrier. Ooh, what a clean cut. Praise be to the Emperor. Wow, look at that. Ooh, what a sword. Unveiling. Ah yes, the long-awaited Paragon Warsuit is now right in front of us in her full glory. And there's nothing to do except just to dive right in. So what we're going to dive right in on, I guess we're going to pick up the figure and see what's up with this thing. So as you can see over here, there is a plethora of Sisters of Battle iconography with a bunch of fleur-de-lis literally everywhere covering this beautiful warsuit here. But regardless, we shall have to dive in. So we're going to take a look at this decoration here. There is obviously an emblazoned fleur-de-lis in the middle and is colored a nice gold. I'll flip this around and take a look at the other colors here. It appears that this gold is dry brushed with a nice silver. I'm going to move down to the two storm bolters that are on the side here. These things are obviously twin linked, and you've got the muzzle of the storm bolter that is painted a nice gunmetal color, and the rest of it is a black that matches the whole body of the warsuit. And flipping around onto the pauldrons, I really like how these pauldrons look. The fleur-de-lis is a beautiful color, so you can see these nice shading here, as well as a very, very clean paint job, as I believe that this is a completely different piece. And looking at the painting on this pauldron, look at this. It's gorgeous looking. So you've got this, again, gunmetal color. That's dark gunmetal in the middle of it, and you can see also that it has been dry brushed a light silver. So this matches pretty much what we've seen across the whole entire JoyToy line. Flipping over here, you've got another Sisters Battle icon. And just like with the regular Order of the Martyred Lady figure, there's plenty of shading and perfectly screened lettering here. So we're going to flip around and take a look at the front and take a look at the sister herself. And this actually comes with a bare head and a regular helmeted head. And as you all know, I love bare heads, so we're going to keep this one that way. So we've got some interesting colored hair. It is obviously the white of the Order of the Martyred Lady, and it transitions to this gray color. She's got some nice rosy cheeks and a very well-screened eye. Then we're going to take a look at the arms here, and this is very interesting to me. The joints on the arm are a completely different color. It is a shiny metal color that I don't think I've seen before on any other action figure so far. So again, you've got some more gunmetal colors here with some highlights on this side. So now we're going to be looking at the equipped multi-melta, and this thing looks really sweet, man. Just like with the Raider pattern attack bikes, you've got this transition from this dark black color all the way to the natural color of this multi-melta at the end. So you can see that this thing has been used quite a lot in battle. The casing is a complete gunmetal color, and there is plenty of highlights on each and every single one of these panels. And we're just going to flip around and take a look at the, I guess, energy pack for this thing. And the energy pack mimics the whole entire multi-melta casing itself. It is a dark gunmetal color, as we've come to get used to, and there are plenty of cool hoses that are attached to this thing that powers the multi-melta. The hoses are a soft plastic and very, very flexible, and the same actually goes with this hose over here that probably powers this arm. So you've got a very large necklace, and then moving on down, you get two brown small pouches here, which look pretty cool. And then you also have this nice holster over here that has a bolt pistol just in case if she needs to whip it out in some close hand-to-hand combat. Now we're going to take a look at the sister's arms here that powers this arm. So it's almost like a joystick kind of configuration, and I'm sure that she could probably drop this controller down to pick up the bolt pistol down here. But the hand is lightly highlighted here, as you can see. Rest of it is not highlighted. Let's take a look at the other side, and that is the same case over here. Highlighted hands, but not highlighted arms. Now we're going to move down to the lower leg area. There's a tabard and a loincloth that is being prominently displayed here. This is probably the most plain looking JoyToy piece of cloth that I've seen. And then let's flip around back. And looks like there's a bunch of fleur-de-lis here emblazoned all over the sides. You've got shading here as well. I'm going to flip this piece of cloth up so that we can see the legs just a little bit better. And as you can tell, this almost mimics basically what a normal Sisters of Battle power armor is supposed to look like, except in larger detail. So we're going to put this thing down and take a look at the Warblade. And this is the first thing that actually caught my eye. And this Warblade is very ornate and very, very nice looking. This is an amped up version of the normal Battle Sisters power sword. And as you can see here, there is a nice transition from a light silver color all the way down to this dark gunmetal color. And also you can see this nice blue coloring here on the power node on both sides, which is a very nice touch. And the hilt of the sword looks like a fleur-de-lis, which is really nice that they integrated that iconography into the sword itself. And the last thing we're going to take a close look at is the helmeted version. And the helmeted version has a very prominent fleur-de-lis in front. And there is a heavily shaded lens here. And that's pretty much it for this helmet. So now you may be curious about articulation, because I sure the heck am. So let's take a look and see how this thing possibly moves. So it looks like this pauldron here is attached to a separate piece on the shoulder over here. As you can see, it almost mimics the Adeptus Custodes pauldron. And then this arm can rotate around, I believe, 360 degrees. You can do that, but you have to make sure not to tangle this cord here. And there's plenty of lateral motion, as you can see here. Let's take a look at how much the elbow bends. I'm not too sure. So the elbow maximum bends here, and then it can bend around. So the wrist is able to move in 90 degrees here from the middle, and then pushing it back, it doesn't look like you get that much movement from here. We're going to flip this around and take a look at the movement of the multi-melta, and I would pretty much guess that it's going to be exactly the same as this side. The multi-melta is able to swing around 360, but again, these cords make it a little bit hard to do it. And then the multi-melta is able to, I believe, swing 360 degrees about this axis, although it is a little bit cumbersome to do it that way, but you still have a lot of fluidity of motion here. So let's see the controls of this Paragon Warsuit. And it's interesting because this area here is actually linked to the movement of the sister that's manning the Warsuit, so you can have a good amount of motion here. So the elbows are double jointed here, and you can get motion here, so she can actually wrap the controller close to her chest and then fling this thing out pretty far back. All right, let's take a look at how it moves in the middle. Let's free all these hoses around. This is 360 degree motion, as you can see, completely fluid and uninhibited. Let's see how much the leg is able to move. We're going to push this out, and I think we can actually do this 360. I don't want to push this too much here. Yes, there is 360 degrees of rotation. With the knees, I don't believe that there is any movement that we can kick it out front, but I know that we can push it out back like that. And then with the ankle area, you can have pretty much like a, I don't know, 50, 60 degree angle of motion here, and you can pivot the ankle around 360 degrees like that. The head can pivot around 360 degrees like so. And then if you're wondering if you can actually detach this sister from the Warsuit, it is not possible on this action figure. The sister is just a floating head, and then 2 arms that are sticking out. All right, there's nothing to do except just to arm her, and to arm this Paragon Warsuit, it is the simplest thing to do. Just give her her Paragon Warblade, and we are completely done with the review. So what did you think of this action figure that's standing right in front of me? Or you, to be honest? Do you think that this is something that you would buy? Do you think that this is something that you're going to pass on? Well, I'll give you my opinion on this action figure. I actually think this is a very, very interesting one. I would have to say that this is very unique in the terms of all the other action figures that are out there. I really like this mecha. There is a lot of things that have to be offered with it. The first thing I'm going to point out is during the review, I really, really like how this sword looks. It has a wicked taper to it, and it is very, very ornate down to the hilt area. So there are a lot of things that I like about that sword. And the next thing I really like is the multi-melta that this Paragon Warsuit is rocking. And the multi-melta, again, has that lovely burnt end tip that you see on a lot of the basically flame weapons that you see in the 40K universe. And I will have to say I really like the color patterning on this Warsuit too. The silver accents really add a lot of depth on this action figure and makes it stand out a lot. So the verdict is, should you get this action figure? Well, I mean, it depends. For me, as a Sister of Battle fan, I really do like this action figure. So if you're a Sisters of Battle fan, and if you are a fan of suits and mecha, I would definitely encourage you to get this. This does have a lot of things that, like I said, to offer you. Thank you so much for watching these review videos. I am going to be cranking out more and more of these review videos as long as JoyToy keeps cranking out these excellent action figures. There's definitely going to be more reviews coming up. We are in the middle of a Sisters of Battle review block right now. We're still going to be having an in-depth look for the variant chapters, such as the Order of the Argent Shroud, as well as the Order of the Bloody Rose in the coming weeks. So look forward to that. So again, thank you for your support, and I'll see you all in the next one.